Hello, I'm Hubert. I'm from L2BEAT. We are an analytics platform for Ethereum L2s, but our research and our work can be pretty much used for any other L1 and L2 ecosystem out there. If you want to do it, I highly encourage it. So since our inception, we are always getting a lot of messages from different people why TVL on L2BEAT is different than TVL on DeFi Llama for different chains, right? So for example, Arbitrum Base or ZK Syncs. Sometimes we were showing that there is like $7–8 billion of value in those chains, but DeFi Llama was showing only 2 and 3, so the spread was pretty huge, hence the confusion. So now I hope that I can just send a link to this presentation to the recording instead of just writing the answer all the time. Yeah, so the whole story, we started with tracking value locked in canonical bridges in the smart contracts of the L2s, similar to DeFi Llama tracking value locked in DeFi smart contracts. But we soon had to kind of make our scopes a lot more broad for other types of assets that are not necessarily locked, you could say. More on that in a second. But so you can very easily understand it. If you want to, let's say, invest in DeFi on Base, right? You transfer 100 USDC from Ethereum there in some way using some kind of bridge, right? You put 50% of it to some liquidity provision protocol or whatever, and leave 50 on your wallet to wait for another hot meme coin to make huge gains. L2BEAT will show you $100, and DeFi Llama will track only 50. And theoretical scenario number 2, you loop the position by borrowing more assets. So if you put $100 in ETH to some lending protocol on L2 and borrow 50 USDC against it, and then you put this 50 USDC to the same lending protocol, right? So what probably most of you are doing on Aave, for example, L2BEAT will show you $100, but DeFi Llama will show you 150. So in theory, you can just loop it and kind of game the TVL that way. Of course, it's only in theory because L2BEAT's number is already higher by definition because we are tracking those, all of the assets secured by this particular chain, but it's easier to explain this way. So you could ask, why does it even matter, right? Why did we rename, why are we tracking it differently, and why did we decide to actually rename it, right? To total value secured at some point. So by having to track more assets, we actually developed a whole new framework for them. And we split them across 3 different types. So we have canonically bridged assets, natively minted ones, and externally bridged ones. Canonical ones are the tokens that are Ethereum native. So for example, ETH or wrap Bitcoin. So you trust the Ethereum in that way, that they are minted on Ethereum. You have native tokens, so the ones that are minted on the L2 itself. So that's, for example, all of the governance tokens, maybe except Starknet and some others, like ARP or OP. And you have all the others that are either minted on other L1, for example, like Wormhole Solana, or omnichain tokens, like Layer 0 USDT, so the tokens that can be minted on many different chains at the same time. Yeah, so again, why does it matter? Because all of those asset types have different trust assumptions. So for example, canonical ones, as I said, you trust Ethereum, right? Ethereum is this most decentralized ledger with a lot of nodes across every single continent, right? So in theory, it will never go down, right? So if the L2 is set up correctly, you will be always able to permissionlessly withdraw your money, so your couple of $1 million in USDC or whatever from this chain. For native ones, you trust the L2 itself. And unfortunately, most of the L2s right now are single sequencers, so and single operators. So the chance for something going down and you not being able to do anything is pretty high. And for the external ones, you need to trust this third-party chain or provider. So you need to trust Layer 0 or Wormhole multisig at the end of the day. Yeah, so all of this is backed by our industry standard setting frameworks and research, because now everybody wants to build an L2BEAT for something, L2BEAT for stablecoins, L2BEAT for anything else. But it's a huge rabbit hole, and we can't go through all of it in 10 minutes, unfortunately. But I prepared a pretty good example for you to check it out. and it's two different L2 shutdowns that recently happened, DYDX and Reel. So in case of DYDX, you were probably using it for pair trading. It was dominating before moving to Cosmos for V4. They were using Starkware tech called StarkX, and they were stage 1 rollup. And they shut down, right? They are not producing blocks anymore. But thanks to these additional stage 1 trust assumptions, you can still withdraw your money using only smart contracts on Ethereum, right? You need to be a bit technical to actually do it, but fortunately we built a front end for that called DYDX Explorer. So even if you are not technical, you can just go there and withdraw your money by clicking a couple buttons. So if you were trading $1 million there, then you went into coma or whatever, you are waking up today, you can still withdraw it. Then we have Reel. So they halted producing the blocks like this week or last week. And the problem is they didn't have any proof system. They didn't have any good DA because they were using a DAC. So like a set of couple random computers somewhere in the basement. And now there is $500,000 in staked ETH and USDC locked there. And if those are your assets, I feel sorry for you because they will be staying there probably forever now because the team moved on and they don't seem that they care, unfortunately. Yeah, so you need to be aware of all of those risks even more now because soon we'll have interoperability between all of the chains, and everybody wants to build interop infra right now. So there will be like a lot of different trust assumptions out there as well, and we have account abstraction coming. So even like deepening the trust issues even further. So what I can tell you as a conclusion, next time when you will be transacting on new Hotel 2, farming the airdrop, or new cool meme coins, better check L2BEAT first so you will not end up with your whole money or your client's money, most importantly, stuck there forever. And if you want to learn more, catch me after my talk. And yeah, I can tell you more about stages and risk rosette, our two leading frameworks. Yeah, and that's all. Thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully see you soon after the talk.